सपना देने की जो एक चीज़ थी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में, उस तरह के लोग, उस तरह के एग्जाम्पल जो बहुत सारे पहले थे, धर्मेंद्र रह जाए, देवानंद रह जाए, और उससे एक छोटे शहर में रहने वाला एक बच्चा या एक किशोर या एक यंग लड़का, he used to dream of coming and used to say that, you know, मैं जब वो सोचता था आंखों में एक सपने होते, कहीं वो कहानी आप पर आकर खत्म सी नहीं हो गई है। बहुत कम ऐसे एग्जाम्पल्स मिलते हैं आज, where you see people who are not part of the industry in a sense and who come from nowhere and made big here. Those dreams, that ability to make people dream, is somewhere the film industry has lost it. And if it is, what's the reason for that?
ऐसा बिलीव नहीं करना चाहूँगा मैं, बस ना आप चाहेंगे कि हम सब लोग ऐसे ही हैं जो बाहर के थे, और इस क्रिएटिव फील्ड में जो फिल्म इंडस्ट्री है, बॉलीवुड है या हिंदी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री है, कि हम लोग आए और कहीं ना कहीं पर हमें ऐसा फुटबॉल मिल गया। आई थिंक जब भी कोई नई सोच आएगी, जहाँ से भी आएगी, जितने भी छोटे शहर या गांव से आएगी, वो नई सोच के उस आवाज़ को कोई भी रोक नहीं पाएगा। और अगर ऐसे ऑप्शंस मिल जाएं, और मुझे लगता है खुदा, भगवान, और कहीं ना कहीं पर उस इंसान को जिसके पास एक नई आवाज़ होगी या नई चीज़ कहने की होगी, नई चीज़ दिखाने को होगी, कहीं ना कहीं पर उस गढ़ में, उस सेक्टर में लाकर जरूर छोड़ देगा, जहाँ पर हम उनके टैलेंट को या उसकी आवाज़ को सुन पाएंगे, देख पाएंगे। So I don't think it will end. I mean, I would love it to end with me because I don't want anyone else to be a bigger star than me, of course. I don't want anyone to have a, that's my personal, selfish, superstardom speak. But I think it is going to continue. जब भी एक नई आवाज़, नई चीज़, नए तरीके से पेश होगी, तो मुझे कहीं ना कहीं लगता है कि कोई नए प्रांत से ही होगी, कोई नई जगह से ही होगी, कोई छोटी जगह से होगी, जो इन चीज़ों के साथ, क्योंकि we become very artificial when we're living in a world where we are working. You in advertising, me in filmmaking, you also in filmmaking and me in advertising in a smaller way. But हम लोग को मालूम है ऐसा इमेज होना चाहिए, ये बोलना चाहिए, ये कहना चाहिए, ऐसे कपड़े पहनने चाहिए। मैं ज़िंदगी में कभी भी वाइट सूट सोच भी नहीं सकता मैं पहनूंगा, लेकिन मेरे डिज़ाइनर बोलते हैं पहनेंगे तो अच्छा लगे, क्योंकि सारा दिन काले कपड़े पहने हैं। So I'll wear it and come. But if you can keep the essence of what you come from, where you come from, the stories you heard, I think वो आगे ज़रूर बढ़ेगा। एक रोमांस होता है नई चीज़ के साथ, छोटी चीज़ के साथ, जो कहीं ना कहीं से आती है और वो आवाज़ बन जाती है जो सारी दुनिया बोलना चाहती है। I think that will never stop.
But my observation is that if you look at cricket, from being a very elitist game, when democratization of cricket happened in this country, you see a small town dream, you know, getting manifested through cricket. And films have gone the other way around. You know, do you think there is a huge dominance of the people who are born and brought up here or have an access to film industry in a certain way than what it used to be earlier, which used to be एक गाँव का एक ऐसा एक belief था. And I talk to many people in smaller towns and they feel that cricket has gone the other way around, and it's as a sport where you see so many, you know, stories, small towns and people who are underprivileged coming and making it big as stars. Because also, I also see myself privileged that I'm part of the film industry, but my way of coming in as film stars is very different. A film star is dreams of 1,000 people, crores of people who dream to be that. And it's like, you know, एक मासूमियत होती है, film star बनूंगा मैं एक दिन, उसमें एक मासूमियत होती है. वो कहीं, do you think there is something which is, if you observe that, there is something which has changed? And if it has changed, it is because of what?
मुझे ऐसा लगता नहीं. मैं बिलीव करता हूँ इसके अंदर कि जो लोग हम सब इस पूरे सिस्टम का हिस्सा हैं, हम सब लोग डोमिनेट कर रहे हैं, आप कर रहे हैं, मैं कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन आई थिंक हमारी फिजिकल डोमिनेशन है, हमारी एक्सेसिबिलिटी डोमिनेशन है, हमारी जियोग्राफिकल डोमिनेंस है कि हम लोग यहाँ पर हैं तो हम लोग दो चार आइडियाज, थॉट्स, लेकिन आप जब कुछ लिखते हैं, आपकी नई फिल्म है जो आपने भी लिखी, या आप जो कुछ कहते हैं, आई थिंक उसके अंदर इमोशनल डोमिनेंस वही है जो आपकी अपब्रिंगिंग है. सो एट द एंड ऑफ इट ऑल, इफ Prasan was standing and you know everybody runs to Prasan because he's the advertising guru of this country or has a voice which speaks volumes in songs and lyrics and film writing, the voice is still where you come from. So will be mine, I'm assuming. that doesn't get tainted or corrupted. And I think at the end of it all, what will come is not going to be the physical dominance or the geographical dominance of people who have access to stardom by virtue of birth, by virtue of legacy, by virtue of just being here or having accessibility. I think the dominance that will stand out is going to be the emotional dominance or the content that you have to say. Because when it comes down to it, जैसे मैं क्रिकेट में बोलता हूँ कि 1.2 बिलियन लोगों के अंदर 11 लोग ऐसे हैं जो इंडिया के लिए खेल सकते हैं, बट 1.2 बिलियन लोग जो हैं उन 11 को पसंद करते हैं जो देश का नाम ऊपर लेकर जाते हैं। वो कहाँ से है? अंडमान से है कि निकोबार से है कि मुंबई से सचिन तेंदुलकर है कि विराट कोहली है कि धोनी है झारखंड से कि इट डजंट मेक अ डिफरेंस। जो देश का नाम या जो एसेंस है क्रिकेट का, जो हम मानते हैं राइटली और रॉन्ग कि जीतना चाहिए, तो जब तक वो करते रहेंगे, आई थिंक द डोमिनेंस विल ऑलवेज कम फ्रॉम whoever has the emotional strength to overcome. I don't think, I know, I mean, I would hope it works out. I would be foolish to believe that my son is going to take on from where I left off. Yes, he'll have the accessibility, he'll know a lot more people, but if he does not have the emotional content which I'd like to believe I had 22 years ago, I don't think he is going to make it. I may give him everything. कि चलो बेटा प्रोड्यूस भी कर देंगे, बना भी देंगे, तुम दिखते भी अच्छे हो, डिजाइनर भी दे देंगे और तुम सब कुछ कर लो। But I think at the end of it all, the person who will come out will be the voice of 1.2 billion people. It is not going to be the already made choice of 1.2 billion people. It's not going to be ये है, इसको एक्सेप्ट कर लो, इसके बेटे को कर लो, इसकी बेटी को कर लो, इसके दोस्त को कर लो। And the reason you succeed, and I'm sorry, I hope I'm not sounding pompous when I say this to you, because you're a very accomplished person in every which way. But I don't think the reason for your words mattering to me is because you're a person. They matter to me because they come from an emotional content which I attach myself to. So I think that will continue to be so.
Very, very good answer, I must say. But you know, if you, I was just thinking, when you work on your films and you choose characters, at least I do it. I feel even of when I was writing Bhag, I was creating those little moments where I was creating scenes which were all borrowed from your life somewhere, some characters you remember, and you sort of start expressing them in the canvas which is there in front of you. Do you always look back in your past and you borrow the emotions when you are in front of the screen, or another way of working? I mean, that, you know, where do you borrow your energy, the emotional energy for a particular character from? Is it from the script? Is it that it's all there? Or you have to think of moments? You know, I have talked to actors who say, you know, if I have to cry, I have to think of the worst moment of my life, and I imagine that, and then I feel that I'm there, or the funny moments or stuff like that, or it's a different way of working. I just want to understand how ShahRukh would work.
I'm 47. I started working when I was 26, and I'll be honest, in the 21 years or 22 years that I've worked in the film industry as an actor, professional actor, being paid for selling emotions, I have not even learned one new emotion. All that I've learned in my life is before I became the person who sold emotions. So everything that I adhere to or think of or believe in, of course I've become very good now. I can cry without even thinking of a sad scene. And I can laugh without any reason like a donkey. It does not make a difference to me. I have been able to, you know, how do you say it, artificialize everything. And there are days when I think, and it's happened to me, but I won't mention those times because they're very personal. But there are days when I don't know, that am I crying because I know how to cry, or am I crying because I'm sad? And there are days when I laugh because, you know, it looks nice on a camera or a photograph to be laughing, even though there are no cameras around. You know, I tell everyone that I don't know if I can act if I don't hear the sound of the camera. I don't know how to emote if I don't wear makeup in the morning. So the lines are blurred a little bit. But as far as I know, everything that I felt in my life has been before I became an actor. Post that, I don't think I felt too much. I've just told the emotions that I know for the last, I joined acting in cinema when I was 26. So yeah, most of the stuff that I know how to do in a film belongs to the part before I started selling. It was all made, it was all collected, it was all observed, it was all absorbed, and now I just dole it out when I'm called upon to do so. But in the last 20 years or 21 years of my work, I don't know if I've learned any new emotion that I didn't already.
That's exactly what I believe. I mean, your emotions are all somewhere. Even the drive we talk about, and I was reading about a few writers who accepted that, all their writing is attributed to that one little toy they didn't get in their childhood, and they can't go back and get it, and they are sort of trying to get it all through their lives through various attempts. So I agree with you. Since we're talking about concerned communication here, and when films come, and especially with someone like you who has a huge impact on people, do you feel responsible for at times for the social messaging which goes through cinema? A lot of these my actor friends and I sometimes debate this, that say we are just entertainers, and I don't agree with that, because if you say you're just entertainer, I can expect a spectacle to be just an entertainer. एक जादूगर जो हैट में से खरगोश निकालता है, मैं उसको एंटरटेनर मान सकता हूँ कि वो जस्ट एंटरटेनर है, उसका कोई कॉन्टेक्स्ट नहीं है. It's out of context, it's just amusing. But you are not just amusing, you are borrowing from people's lives. Your stories are borrowed from their lives. The emotions are somehow connected all the time with their lives. So if you say something through your film and it has an adverse impact on you, sometimes do you feel, probably I shouldn't have said this in the film, or this has not gone well with people, I've not been able, I don't know how many times you felt that, but do you feel that there is a filter out there which needs to be exercised when you choose your films and express yourself in cinema, or you can just get away with saying that this is just self-expression and I'm allowed to do exactly what I feel like?
I think गुलाब साहब हमसे यही बात कर रहे कि हम जिंदगी की होड़ में दौड़ में लगे रहते हैं, कभी ना कभी कोई अच्छी बात भी करें, और अगर ऐसी आवाज़ बन जाए जो आपने चूज़ ना भी की हो कि आपकी बनने वाली है, अगर वो बन गई है तो फिर उस आवाज़ से अच्छी बातें करोगे तो अच्छी सोच लोगों तक पहुँचेगी. आई थिंक जितने भी एक्टर्स होते हैं, मैं थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ा लिखा हूँ, तो मुझको ऐसा लगता है मेरी अपब्रिंगिंग अच्छी है, माँ बाप अच्छे थे, अच्छी बातें बोलते थे, मैं बच्चों को अच्छी बातें सिखाता हूँ, और खुद भी नेचुरल एक थॉट रहती है जब मैं फिल्म में काम करता हूँ. आई डू बिलीव एनी एक्टर हु इज सेल्फ अवेयर विल नेवर डू अ फिल्म व्हिच इज नॉट एन एक्सटेंशन ऑफ हिज पर्सनैलिटी. मैं अपने आप को कितना भी अच्छा एक्टर मान लूँ, तो मैं ये बने पे रोल कर सकता हूँ, वो भी रोल कर सकता हूँ, मैं प्रिपेयर भी कर सकता हूँ, मैं प्रेप भी कर सकता हूँ. लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स आई कैन डू टू चेंज माई पर्सनैलिटी एंड बी द रोल दैट आई वांट टू बी. But as hard as I may try, I don't think it can ever go beyond my own upbringing. तो कहीं ना कहीं पे मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मेरी अपब्रिंगिंग काफ़ी सुलझी हुई, और मेरे माँ बाप ने कुछ अच्छी बातें सिखाई हैं, पढ़ा लिखा हूँ, और थोड़ा सा भी मैं गलत बात करने से पर्सनली आई एम शाय, सो आई हैव एन इशू. कुछ चीज़ें मैं नहीं कह सकता फिल्मों में, मुझे लगता है साथ में बैठ के बच्चों के देखूंगा या अकेले भी देखूंगा तो अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. सो देयर इज natural censorship inside my system, I believe, which happens. But having said that, I don't know if that censorship is so personal that it may, and it does happen, especially my sense of humor sometimes, that people take it wrong, it hurts some sentiments, it disturbs a lot of people, and I also know that sometimes people will come to me, अरे तुमने ऐसा क्यों किया? तुम अभी ऐसा नहीं कर सकते. मुझको अगर कोई बोल दे कि तुम अब बड़े इंपॉर्टेंट हो गए हो, ऐसा नहीं कर सकते, तो मैं वो जरूर करूँगा, क्योंकि वो मुझे बड़ा लगता है. क्योंकि मैं अपने आप को खुद इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं समझ सकता. मैं अपने आप को वही रॉ 26 साल का लड़का समझता हूँ जिसको एंथुसियाज्म है, अच्छाई है, रॉनेस है, पागलपन है, एनर्जी है, राइट रॉन्ग की समझ नहीं है, बस करता जा रहा है. When I do a film or a scene, I believe it's my first film, and I will never get another chance to do this. And simultaneously, I believe this is my last film. I may never get a chance again to do this. So I do it with that gusto and love. और मुझे लगता है कि ये मोमेंट जो हम बात कर रहे हैं हो सकता है मेरी आखिरी, और ये मोमेंट मेरी पहली है. इसके बाद मुझे काम मिल सकता है. So I have that humility